In this episode of Perception the Law, we check the scoreboard to see who has done a better job fighting the war on terror, President Bush or President Obama, and ask the question, are they really all that different? The results just might surprise you.
Hi, I'm Professor Addicott, and today we're going to discuss the issue of Bush versus Obama. As we noted before, the political element has been constant since the war on terror began, and that's a function of our two-party political system. For example, when the Republicans are in power, the Democrats are not motivated to say good things about the Republicans. And of course, when the Democrats are in power, the Republicans aren't going to say many good things about the Democrats, so we understand that friction exists. But of course, we also understand that in time of war, we'd expect our leaders and our politicians and our political differences to be put aside and to come together for the good of the war effort. Unfortunately, that has not always occurred. And during the Bush era, for example, we saw things that were demonized out of control, that Guantanamo Bay was illegal, that military commissions were illegal, that Bush's use of rendition was illegal, that we tortured people, and on and on and on. And the drumbeat became so loud that many people in this country just accepted those concepts without any deep thinking. We're 11 years later now, and we still see this friction. Ironically, the Obama administration has adopted all of the Bush policies. And many of these policies, of course, the Democrats, and particularly the liberal Democrats, absolutely demonized. And yet they have now adopted the policies of the Bush administration, and that's simply a fact. The Obama administration has reauthorized military commissions to operate at full steam ahead. The Obama administration has not only continued to detain people at Guantanamo Bay, he detains hundreds and hundreds of others at Bagram Air Force Base without trial, without a federal judge to review his decision that they're enemy combatants, without charging with a crime. They're detained indefinitely under the law of war. Not illegal, but inconsistent with the rhetoric that was going on during the Bush era. The Obama administration is also engaged, as we've discussed before, in targeted killing far more than the Bush administration ever engaged in. And so that's part of the atmosphere that we have to distinguish, is are we developing a new rule of law? And the greatest concern, of course, is that the president, their responsibility as commander-in-chief is to lead the nation, and that demands clarity. Bush was unclear in many instances. The war on terror, as we've noted, was not a very clear term because it doesn't describe the enemy. President Bush was not always consistent. Zacarias Moussaoui, the 20th hijacker, he was an al-Qaeda member, yet President Bush did not send him to Guantanamo Bay, did not try him by military commissions. He sent him to a federal district court for trial as a common criminal. That was a mistake. Because if we're at war, this is an enemy combatant, he should be treated as an enemy combatant. We also saw the same thing occur with Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. President Bush did not take this avowed al-Qaeda member down to Guantanamo Bay or try him by military commission. He also tried him in a federal court. And John Walker Lent, a U.S. citizen that was picked up on the battlefield of Afghanistan, President Bush tried him in a federal court in California. The Obama administration has done the same thing. One might critique the Obama administration more, though, because, as I said, we've been going on now for 11 years. You would think we'd get clarity. You would think that people would put the politics aside. Again, if we're at war, the law of war applies. All the things that Bush did were perfectly lawful. Therefore, the Obama administration needs to apologize for nothing when they adopt the Bush policies. And yet the Bush policies are not heralded by this administration, obviously, but they are utilized to the full extent. In fact, a fuller extent than we saw under the Bush administration. Finally, my perspective is not to criticize President Bush or criticize President Obama. My perspective is that the United States of America has to operate under the rule of law. We have an obligation as the leader of the world to project the image that we are abiding by the law of war, not to project an image that we're schizophrenic, that some people are going to military commissions, some people are going to domestic trials, some people we kill, some people we don't kill. We need to operate with consistency. If we can't be clear to our domestic audience here in the United States, how can we expect the international community to understand what we're doing? stay up to date on the latest news, be sure to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter.